Welcome back to St. Stephen. For those of you who are coming back, I'll just say one more time that it is a smart decision to stay home. And some of you just need to really think out whether or not you will be returning to our celebration of the Eucharist. But as you've made that decision, know that we've done everything we can to prepare for this moment and to make it a safe experience for you. So there's some things we need from you before you come in to celebrate. One of the things we're going to ask every household is to please bring a face mask and a bottle of hand sanitizer. The sanitizer is going to be important before you come forward to receive the Eucharist. The face mask, we want you to put on just as soon as you step out of your car. So get out of your car and get ready to be with other people and be all masked up. You've already seen these marks for social distancing on our sidewalk, and that's what we'll ask you to line up as you get out of your car. Now, this is going to be just like a restaurant. You can't be seated until your whole party is with you. So make sure you've got your whole household together, and then come down the sidewalk and begin getting in the socially distant line that will lead us into the church. So come on in. We'll show you what's going to happen once we get through the doors and how we're going to be seated and how we're going to flow. So let's go on in. So as you came down the sidewalk, there was a hospitality minister standing there with a clicker. And he's counting off 75 households. 75 households will be invited to follow the social distance and come inside the church. Once he reaches 75, he's going to redirect you to go inside the social hall, where there's room for about 38 households. So be ready to be directed on which direction to go in once you come through the double doors. Now let's go into the church. So when you come in, you're going to notice that there's few of us. 75 households is not at all what we're used to. And we're going to be 75 households all spread apart, 6 feet apart. This is going to feel very different than anything you've ever experienced before inside of this church building. But we're going to be inside the church building. And we're going to be inside this building together, where we're going to be able to sing and praise, worship our God, and receive Him in the sacrament of His body and blood. That is the advantage, and that's what we're going to get through all this weirdness, that experience of God with us as we are with one another. So as you come in, you notice that some of the pews have an X on them. That X means do not occupy. That space is not available. In order to keep us from having to walk over each other, as you come in, we're asking everyone to fill in the middle seat first. Fill the middle seat first so no one has to walk over you to get to their open box seat. Again, you'll also find that some of these seats have been reserved for our liturgical ministers. So if you're a liturgical minister, there's your seat. If not, please avoid sitting in their seat. We need all those ministries present to make our worship of the Lord and our celebration of the Eucharist meaningful for us as a community. So just mind your seats. You'll find a hospitality minister inside this room with you, and they will also be helping you point out, there's an open box, there's an open box, there's an open box. Just look for an open box. No blue tape. Do not sit on blue tape. Do not sit on a seat reserved for one of the ministers. Other than that, you're good. Keep your mask on. Have a seat. Hopefully you've gotten here early. It's going to take a little bit to get all this process done. So you've gotten here early. Sit down and say a prayer. Now, one of the other things I want you to know is there are no hymnals in the pew. This is now your hymnal. This is your liturgy aid. You'll find on the front page of our app a button that says Liturgy Aid. You'll also find on the front of our website a place you can click for Liturgy Aid. This will have all the music and all the readings for the Mass on it. This is also going to be helpful for you who are at home, who are participating with us through the live stream. Because with your telephone and your connection to our app and our website, you have all the materials you need to participate fully in this Mass. So come in early, get a seat, pray, hook yourself up to technology, and let's get ready to pray and worship the Lord as the body of Christ. So now let's talk about how we're going to come forward to receive the body of Christ. It's going to be a little regimented. Hospitality ministers will be in the aisle and direct you when to come out of your pew. Stay in your place until the minister directs you out. Fortunately, St. Stephen, our middle aisle is wide enough that we can come out one side and the other at the same time, single file, and approach the minister to receive the body of Christ. Let me just say that this is one of the riskiest parts of our being together. We are going to break the 6-foot social distance. Somebody who's 65 with a condition, we need to do this smartly and correctly. So as you come forward in single file to receive the Eucharist, you'll receive in your hand. Nobody is going to go near the pool of droplets. You'll receive in your hand. Please hold your hand out flat and let the minister just gently drop it on your hand. Be careful you don't grab, because you'll grab their flesh. When you grab, just grab the body of Christ and not the minister. So after you have received the Blessed Sacrament in your hand, we ask you just to take a step to the side, lower your mask, receive the body of Christ, put your mask back up, and go back to your seat. It should be that simple, but we got to do it that smart. We're breaking the distant feet. We're coming to close contact with each other. Be smart. So now you have received the body of Christ, and you are back in your pew, offering God a prayer of thanksgiving. The priest will then give the prayer after communion and the final blessing. The priest is always the first one out, so just stay in your pew until he is gone, and then wait for directions from the hospitality minister. Our dismissal, our leaving of the building, is going to be much like what you're used to in deplaning an airplane. We're going to be going out row by row, section by section. Now we do have 3 exits, and we'll be making use of all 3 of them. But we're also going to be making sure we don't get clumped up together. So everyone in this section will be dismissed first. Go out to your car. This section will then be dismissed following them, just to make sure we don't all get clumped up as we walk out the doors. Stay in your households. Stay together. Go to your car. One other thing I want to ask you, and this is an important thing. If within 5 days of your being in our building celebrating with us, you test positive for COVID, we need you to call the office. We need to find a way in which we can alert everybody who has been in this building at the same time that they have become in contact with the virus. We're going to need to get word out so everybody can do what they need to do to protect their own health. So if within 5 days of being here to worship and you test positive, please call our office so that we can get word out to everyone else who is here. What we're doing, coming together, is risky. And we're all taking that risk by getting out of our houses and into a public space. It's the risk we're going to take to worship God. It's the risk we're going to take to receive the body of Christ. think about your risk. Think about your health situation and the situation, the health of everybody you come into contact with. One day, this virus will subside. One day, we will get back to normal. But until that day comes, think. Be smart. Be safe. Thanks for worshiping with us. Thanks for being part of our community. Thanks for all you do that makes us who we are. God bless. We see some of you live or through this camera.